welcome back to Lone Wolf, The Prisoners of Time. Probably the third stream I've done of this book. It is, I guess, the toughest book so far. They even warned us at the start, this book is impossible. So, and we just reached, last time we reached the boss. It's probably not even the final boss, but it was a boss. And he had a ridiculous combat score. Like, I don't know what the author was thinking. Alright. Let's have another go. Right. Oh, get the death counter up. Everyone can see my shame. There we go. Okay, so we've reloaded from this point here, where we've just been given a mission and a map. So we are in Thas, and we got to get to Haggadar to get the lore stones. Yeah, we actually got one of them last time. So, where are we? So we're on the road. I guess we can stop for a meal. I don't see any harm in doing that. Oh, we got a different fortune this time. Cards you have chosen have 3 colorful symbols embossed on their leather-like surface. The first shows a blackbird, the second a tree, and the third shows 2 swords crossed over a blazing fire. The old Ukor traces a crooked finger around the cards and mutters continually under her breath. Thukthron leans forward and tries to translate her mumblings. She say that you have an enemy in the skies. He come to nest in trees and fight with you. He not win fight, but you not win fight either. You must beware this enemy, for he will not rest until you die. So neither of us will win the fight? Did we have this already? Alright, and then we carry on. Oh, and then we're about to go off the edge of the bridge. This time, let's just tell Thukthron. Oh, okay. So should we just stay in the wagon and see what happens? The onipus slides stiff-legged down the slippery bank, and the chariot slews violently to the left before coming to a halt within a few inches of the river's edge. Shaken but otherwise unharmed, Thukthron and his driver open their eyes and stare down at the murky water, scarcely able to believe that they are still dry and in one piece. The other chariots draw to a halt behind, and Thukthron's chariot is hauled out of the mud. Within minutes, you are back on the road, close to the approach ramp to the bridge. Looking ahead, you notice that the center of the bridge is damaged. Some of the planks have been torn up and strewn across the surface at random, crudely disguising a gaping hole. Quickly, you point out the damage to Thukthron. It's a trap! We'll stay in the chariot this time. Alright, shouldn't be too bad. the hound. Alright, and then get away. And then we meet these guys. Step out this time. As before, this time they don't shoot us, that's nice. Give them the obsidian seal, they know who we are, they bring us to Lorcan. Lorcan, sends us to Talakos. We can check on the equipment. It's not really that much. We can take a quiver and arrows. That's it, really. We can take these spores as well. Alright, and then the blowpipe. A sharp pain in your forehead is followed immediately by a swirling rush of nausea. You swoon and crash heavily behind the trunk of the fallen tree as dizziness robs you of your balance. You have been struck in the head by a blowpipe dart, which is coated with deadly, fast-acting venom. You just die? It's 0 to 3? That's like almost 50% chance of dying. What the f... The sickness and nausea begin to subside, but they are replaced by a fearful numbness that drains the strength from your limbs. Odell's face and the dark canopy of branches swirl and grow dim as the deadly poison paralyzes your heart. Painlessly, you slip into the timeless oblivion of death. Yeah, whatever. Alright, reload a saved game because I'm starting the game again. What happens if I don't go for a meal? If you have the Magnified Discipline of Curing. But I do have the What? I do have it. What? Alright, is this bugged? Oh my god, what's... It's bugged or something. Start. Open a new tab. It clearly says we have curing. What's the other file we have? So, we'll see if this works. So we're a bit behind, but we can just quickly catch up. Alright, let's make a save here. Let's see if this worked. Where's the... What? What happens if we don't have this skill? And then it doesn't even recognize that we have hunting skill as well. Oh, no, this on this occasion... Okay, so that's not bugged here. Maybe it's just that one page is bugged. I don't know. Alright, I think we're in a new place. A few miles beyond the village, the road leaves the valley and crosses an open expanse of lush grassland. The hours roll by and you watch the passing landscape with increasing wonder as you try to comprehend how it can thrive beneath the sunless sky. Slowly, the plain descends towards a wide river, sluggish with sediment and flanked by tall, grey-green trees. A bridge spans the dark water, and the road continues beyond towards a line of hills. The bridge is built of stout timber, but as you draw... Oh, we've been here before, and we... It's the bridge, isn't it? Can we try and steer away? I think it doesn't really matter what we do. We always end up, like, at this point. Stay in the chariot. I think it's... gives us better combat. I don't know. Alright. Okay, so it recognized that we have curing there. So it's just that one page was bugged. Alright. You dive behind the trunk, but you feel a stinging sensation as the blowpipe dart scratches the side of your neck. A wave of nausea churns your stomach and your throat becomes painfully tight, restricting your breathing and causing your pulse to race. Odell appears at your side and wipes the scratch with a handful of fungi culled from the bark of Balin's bough. Swiftly, the frightening effects of the poison subside as the healing properties of the fungi take effect. Sure, we'll keep some of this. Odell sits beside you with his back to the trunk while he sets the metal crossbow that is strapped to his forearm. Oh, we've already read these bits. Okay. And then we enter the building, the Vault of Cedron. And then... Oh, we have to do this puzzle. Okay. It was... C? Yeah. And what? Treasure vault, yeah, sure. This is where we get the broadsword. Kind of need that. We'll fire at him. Fire at his throat. Is that what we did before? -4. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then we pick up the Law Stone. Oh no, we have to fight the scouts. Okay. Okay. And then we pick up the Law Stone and we heal to full. Should we make a save here as well? Because, like... I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's much branching that could have happened before we got here. And we're now, like, we restored to full health. So we don't have to repeat all that again. I mean... Yeah, why not? Because, I mean, we have to get past that boss, and that boss is ridiculous, so... Alright. So we get the Scarlet Warrior's weapon. There's no point taking it. And then we get one of these tentacle creatures. We have Hunt Mastery, so we can... go here. Okay, so last time we went to the Balon's tomb. So instead we could go to the other, the Grand Sepulchre. Combat ratio 11, okay. The three creatures bellow and growl as your blows find their way between their plates of armor, and they retaliate by lashing you with their suckered tentacles. Their attacks are ill-aimed and clumsy, but wherever one of their rubbery limbs touches your body, it leaves an angry red wheal. Okay, we one-shotted them. So that was a lie. They never touched us with their tentacles. As the last of your foul enemies falls dead at your feet, you sheathe your weapon and drag their blood-spattered corpses away from the great door. Then you push closed the heavy portal, making sure that it is secure before climbing to the stair to the roof. Oh, and then we see the battle. And then we see the boss. And then we have to fight this battle. Okay, so this always brings us here. -10 is just stupid. So, just... What? They don't give you any interesting options, like to poison him or something. I don't know. You just have to fight him. And the broadsword is giving us +8. It would have been -18. That's ridiculous. And he's badly wounded. Oh my god. Dead. This sucks. Wait, what if we... Okay, what if we... I just want to see what happens if we don't have the broadsword. Is it going to troll us and it's actually an easier fight? Like... That happened with the summer sword before. So let's... Throw the sword on the floor. Chaos Master catches a glimpse of you crouching behind the parapet and diverts his aim from Lorcan Ironheart. With malicious glee, he slams his great club down upon the roof, and in a terrifying moment, you are crushed to death. You literally, you have to have the bloody broadsword. You can't fight him without it. Also, that's 2 deaths we have to add. This is... Okay, so we have to save scum that. Like, that fight. Like, this no... This whole stream is just going to be me, like, trying to save scum around these stupid mechanics. Alright, so this sword is pointless. What was in Balon's tomb again? Alright, we'll go there again. Oh, we have to do another of these. Oh, it was B, wasn't it? Investigate the sarcophagus. Carefully, you prise open the heavy silver lid and stare at the shrunken remains of Lord Balon. He lies on a mattress of diamonds and gemstones, his yellowed bones encased in ornate burial armor, and by his side rests a massive two-handed sword. Its blade of solid gold is inscribed with a long list of battle honors and deeds of valor. You sense that this weapon is purely symbolic, a replica of his true sword, for its soft gold blade would never hold a keen edge or withstand the rigors of battle. You're about to close the lid when you notice something else lying next to the sword, a silver flask. You pull its stopper and discover that it contains a wine that smells fresh and wholesome. Fine, we'll drink some of the wine. It just heals, alright. Yeah. When we start the battle with full health, but... Okay, it's something. Right, so we're at full health. So we have to do this option. So we just have to fight this fight, and there's no way to improve it. Minus 10. Oh boy. Alright, we'll save scum this then. This is so badly written, this book. Alright, let's go. One death. This could take a lot of deaths. Two deaths. Three deaths. Four deaths. How? Five deaths. How can anyone get this through this whole book? Six deaths. Seven deaths. Eight deaths. It can't be done. What are we supposed to do? Was that 8? Yeah, 8 deaths. Yeah, more like that. Come on. 9 deaths. How would you play the whole thing? 10 deaths. Eleven deaths. 12 deaths. $13 deaths. $14 deaths. $15 deaths. We got one-shotted, for fuck's sake. 15 deaths. 16 deaths. What else could we have done here? $17 deaths. We never even get him below 30. We're not going to be able to kill him. That's, what, 17 deaths? $18 deaths. $19 deaths. 20. Alright, let's have a think about this. Either we have to save scum the individual turns of the battle, which is stupid that we would have to do that, but that's apparently the only way to get past it, or... Okay, let's just look up if there's a different way around it, because this book is just... I'm getting fed up of this book. So it's... Prisoners of Time. Where are we? Okay. Summer Sword, Ironheart Broadsword, 200, page 200. Is that where we are? 204. Where's 204? Oh. Are we too far forward? 204. I just can't... That's the start of the book, right? Let's see. He's got combat skill 38. Oh, these are not numbered. Oh, I see. Here we are. Oh my god, it's towards the end of the game. Oh, don't look down there. That's depressing. All right, so 84. CS 38. Endurance 46. No. That's not it. Let's go 38. Endurance 54. 38, 54. Well, this flowchart's really 38, 54. Just want to know if there's a way around it, or we have to save scum this. Oh, this flowchart isn't complete. Where is the... I think this is it here. CS 40. But that doesn't look right. Maybe this is a updated edition of the book or something, so it's not 40. So if you have Summer Sword... Oh my god, he's stronger if you have the Summer Sword. What is... Wow. Alright, fine. So... Literally the only way past this is ideally to have the Ironheart Broadsword and then fight him. Oh my god. Okay, now we know. What do we do? We just have to cheat. Like... Like, did anyone... Let's see what people are saying about this book. I need to work out something here, because it's really badly explained. Should we have AI try and work this out? I don't know if it will. Lone Wolf Game Book Series. If you die in a book, do you have to start that book from beginning rank without any of your past inventory? That's the way I've been playing it. Without keeping any progress, yeah. Start the book again with the same stats and inventory you had when you began that specific... What? Oh, so you're allowed to... Oh my god. Let's read what people actually do. Create a new character and go back to book 1. Create a new character without... Create a new character without previous book skills objects and restart same book. That's what the rule says you're supposed to do. Only one person's doing that? Reanimate your current character and start the book over as if you hadn't run it yet. That's what everyone's doing? Okay, but what is the actual rule? Why can't it just be written clearly in English in the book? It doesn't really say. The FAQ. Alright, let's have a look at the FAQ. Where's the FAQ? Alright. Here's the FAQ. It doesn't say. Just... I don't know what to do then. I mean, and not that... Okay, the answer to this question doesn't actually matter, because I've already lost all my stuff anyway. Alright, Reader's Handbook. Oh, this is this page. Alright, where was that? Why can't someone just answer the question? What is the actual rule? I don't care what you like to do. I just want to know what the actual rule is, and then I'll decide what I like to do. God, why can't anyone just answer the question? Alright, whatever. Restart this book from section 1. Restart this book and redo pre-book setup. This is basically what I have in front of me because I'm using the website. The problem is... Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, we just have... The only thing we can do really is save scum each individual hit strike here. So, let's try that. So, if we manage to hit him... No. Then we just die, basically. That's a death. That's one death. Alright, try again. We just want to hit him and not take any damage. Even that's not good enough. We can't sustain that. That's 2 deaths. Three deaths. Four deaths. Oh, 5 deaths. Deaths. Come on, can we even hit him once? Like, without taking damage? This is the only way of... getting past this point. 7 deaths. Eight deaths. Fucking mosquito. Oh, I almost got him. Oh my god, 4 sevens in a row. Oh my god. What are we on? 3 health. So that was 8 deaths. Let's just add those. We actually got it legit. A million restarts. Without having to save scum the individual turns. We'll make a save here as well. As your blade cleaves his black heart in two, the Chaos Master gives voice to an unearthly howl, loud enough to waken... Oh, he bit me! Mosquito! Oh my god, I see him. Hang on. Nope. It's dirt. His great body stiffens and his skin writhes and shimmers, making it impossible to discern any detail. Then suddenly it fades until all that remains to record that he ever existed is the lingering stench of his spilt blood. Lorcan and his Meladorian troops are overjoyed to have witnessed the spectacular defeat of the Chaos Master, for your victory has rid them of their greatest enemy. They call to you to come down from the roof, and when you appear at the doorway, they shower you with praise. We owe you more than our lives, Aeonian, says Lorcan, his strange blue eyes aglow with admiration. Your great deed has saved our realm and put an end to the plague of chaos that would have corrupted us all. We are forever in your debt. As he shakes your hand, he notices the blade with which you dispatched the Chaos Master. It is a good omen for my clan that the sword you used to banish the evil one was forged by my ancestors. I am doubly proud that it served you well, but now it must return to the Grand Sepulchre, for such is our law. I still haven't finished my quest. What? Do you want me to save your world? Lorcan orders that the word of the victory be sent immediately to his people, and commands that a celebration be held in your honor. But the urgency of your quest prompts you to forego the festivities and begin your journey to Haggadar at once. Can I please take that broadsword with me? Lorcan understands your need to make haste and offers to help you by assigning another scout to guide you through the Naggoth to the plain of Guaco. I just realized something. I didn't have broadsword skill. We were fighting with a broadsword. That gives us +8. But we didn't have broadsword weapon skill. So we actually would have had a +3 if I had broadsword weapon skill. So there was a way around that. But that would turn your skill from +10 to -10 to -7, which is actually more doable. Interesting. Yeah, sure, we'll take his help. Your new scout's name is Ark, a wiry Meladorian with steely grey hair and a lean, scraggy face. He is an expert woodsman, and with his help you are able to avoid all contact with marauding remnants of the Chaos Horde. The journey to the edge of the plain of Guaco takes nearly 100 hours, during which time you are able to conserve your food supplies by living off the land. In fact, so bountiful is the Naggoth forest that you are able to gather a surplus of food equal to 3 meals. You share a meal with Ark and bid him farewell. Then you check your equipment and consult your map before setting off with trepidation across the barren plain of Guaco. The plain of Guaco stretches to the cloudy horizon like a vast sea of dust, broken only occasionally by a boulder or clump of higher wire-hard scrub. It is a drear panorama, a land once rich and fertile, murdered by the curse of chaos. It instills in you a feeling of dread uncertainty at first, but as you trudge each weary mile, it slowly strengthens your determination to fulfill your quest. For the fate that has befallen Guaco will befall Summerland if you fail to find the last Lordstone and return to defeat Dark Lord Knag. Shortly after your second stop for rest, you hear a sound far to your right. A tiny speck in the grey sky grows steadily larger until at last you are able to discern its shape. A cold chill runs down your spine when you recognize its dragon-like features. It is a Zenga, the Scourge of Guakor. Let's hide, I guess. There are very few places on this desolate plain that offer cover from the air. You run towards the nearest, a group of boulders, and curl up among them in the hope that you will escape the Zengar's wicked gaze. We don't have invisibility. The fearsome Zengar swoops low over your position, raising a cloud of dust that fills your nose and eyes with grit. You cough and blink the dust away, and as the cloud begins to settle, you see that you have attracted the beast's attention. It has landed nearby and is poised to exhale its fiery breath. Desperately, you dive to avoid the searing gout of smoky yellow flame that pours from the Zengar's mouth. Your lightning reactions save you from a roasting, and as you roll to your feet, you are able to unsheath the weapon and advance on the beast unobserved. Minus 12? Come on, why are you doing this? I can't. How is that computed? That's as good as we can get it. What? And we're on low health as well. How? There must be a way to avoid that fight altogether. All right. Use the bow, why not? Your arrow flies straight and true. It pierces the Zengar's eye and sends it soaring upwards into the sky, screeching an agonized cry across the desolate plain. At the top of its arc, it breathes its last fiery breath, then plummets to the ground with a resounding crash. Wow. Just headshotted it. That works. After your encounter, you stop to rest less frequently. Mile after mile, you plod on mechanically, only half aware of the lifeless landscape through which you move. Fatigue dulls your senses, and you cannot recall the exact moment you entered the Neverness. Like a dream, it is as if you have always been here. Clouds swirl beneath your feet, yet they support your weight. You float in a sea and sky of grey light, without horizon or boundary, a limitless eternity of space. There are distant sounds like muffled voices, but when you strive to understand them, they fade, and you cannot catch the words. Time passes, yet time is meaningless, for you cannot tell the order in which events are taking place. From out of the swirling wisps of cloud, 3 globes of darkness arise. They swim closer, hovering to and fro, evolving into the forms of black-hooded riders on demon steeds. Leering skulls peer from the shadow of their cloaks, and you see your own eyes reflected in their bony sockets. A freezing blast of psychic force lances through your mind, filling your head with intolerable pain. You reel from this unexpected assault and fight to regain control over your shaking limbs. Come on! The shadowy riders raise their black hands, and spears of blue fire appear suddenly in their fists. They scream an earthly cry as they brandish these crackling lances, then they level them at your chest and charge forward to ride you down. Is that... Alright, we've got to bring the flowchart up again. Like, is this avoidable? Like, I'm just cheating at this point. This is so terrible. Let me just get through this game. Where's the... Alright. So we are... Okay, so we did that, and now we're here. 1d... What? I don't know what I'm reading here. Alright, well, it looks like there are ways around it. Did I add a dash? 51. Let's try the different options. We could try go alone. After snatching a few hours' sleep, you bid Lorcan and his warriors farewell and set off into the Nargoth forest. Guided by the map given to you by Sirocco, you follow an old timberland path that has never before felt the tread of a man. This track leads to a place where the trees are twisted and gnarled into every conceivable shape. Some look like bent old men, others have straight trunks and curly branches, yet others are coal black and petrified like fossils. As you continue along the track, the strange trees make you feel uneasy, doubly so because they are totally motionless. Soon you come to a clearing where a large borehole has obliterated the path. You decide to investigate the hole, and as you peer into the blackness, you hear a thin, wailing cry far below. Sure, let's shout into the hole. As the sound of your voice begins to fade, a whirling streak of shining silver emerges out of the darkness. The sudden rush of wind knocks you backwards, and you see, soaring on wide gossamer wings, a huge, worm-like monstrosity take to the air. It circles the clearing, and then swoops down to attack you with its sword-sharp fangs. Well, let's use the bow. Your arrow is well aimed and deadly effective. It enters the creature's mouth, skewers its heart, and sends it spinning wildly into the trees amid a spray of foul green blood. Without waiting to discover if it was the only one of its kind, you shoulder your bow and hurry away from the clearing. At length you emerge from the twisted trees of the Chaos Zone and follow the track as it wends its way through the Nargoth forest beyond. Your journey passes slowly and without incident until after countless hours of travel you arrive at the edge of the plain of Guacor. Rather than attempting to cross the barren plain immediately, you decide to rest here and continue after some much-needed sleep. 10 hours later you wake refreshed and eager to begin the next leg of your journey to Hargadar. After checking your equipment and your map, you set off across the featureless plateau. Oh my god, it takes us here? So if we stand our ground, we can actually fire a bow at him and one-shot him. Your arrow grazes the creature's eye, then ricochets off its horny lid. The sudden, unexpected pain sends the creature into the sky, screeching an agonized cry across the empty plain. Then it turns and flies away to seek the shelter of its lair and nurse its weeping wound. And then we have to fight these guys. And we lose, because this is stupid. Alright, let me look at this. Combat skill 34, endurance 40. Where is this? 34, 40. Like, where is... what 34... It's probably this one here. Okay, so there are ways around it. Alright. So there's ways around it, we just gotta try and figure out. Oh no! 3440 is here. If we have Psi Surge. If we have Psi Surge, but we don't have Psi Surge, so it's 3440. Oh my god. I'm getting fed up of this book. How close are we to the end? I don't like this book at all. Not too bad, but look at this. These fights. Alright, we just have to save scum this fight. Right, whatever. Let's just get through this book. Hopefully things might improve afterwards. Giant guacal lizard looks at you with ravenous eyes. Its lower jaw drops to open to reveal a gruesome set of curved yellow fangs, and its fetid breath washes over you in a sickening wave as it launches its desperate attack. Still die. Because they don't even give us a chance to heal after our fighting the tree monster. Alright, so we're about to fight. Look, we're on 8 health. We just have to use all the healing stuff. So now we're on 16. 20. 23. Minus 11. I'll make a save here. Saves come this fight now. Oh, that's one death. Two deaths. Three deaths. Four deaths. Five deaths. Six deaths. What is the... Whatever. Seven deaths. Look at this. 8 deaths. Nine deaths. Ten deaths. Eleven deaths. Twelve deaths. Thirteen deaths. 14 deaths. Oh, I can click this book here. Fifteen deaths. $16 deaths. I'm just trying to get a good first hit. 17 deaths. $18 deaths. 19 deaths. Okay, good first hit. Now save it. That's 18 deaths so far. Deaths. 1. 2. 3. 24. 25. 26. 27. Why is it so infrequent to get a 0? 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 'Is it actually uniform? Is 0 really rare or something? I never even considered that it might just be uniform. What am I on? 31? 32. Like, it should be equally rare, but 33. 34. 35. 'Save that. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. I've used all the potions. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 'Oh, so close. 48. Really? 49. See. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 55. Might actually make this one. 56. Hello, Kramit. I'm at a really stupid point in this book where I don't see any way of getting past this without save scumming each individual turn of combat. It's... this book... There's a warning, there's a footnote at the beginning of this book. Warning, this book is essentially impossible. There's literally a footnote at the beginning under the title after you've read all the rules and everything. This footnote was not written by the author. This footnote was written by, like, the community, like years after the book was published, I guess. So yeah, this book is just stupid. At this point, the death counter, I don't know why am I even keeping a death counter. We're still keeping track of deaths, so what am I on? 57, 58. Finally we did it, but we had to save scum those first 5 turns to make sure we didn't lose any health. See, even if you picked all the best things... I mean, this is what the footnote said. The footnote said, even if you picked the optimal choice of stats, you rolled the highest possible stats, you've picked all the best options, you've taken all the best armor and everything, it's still near impossible. What was he thinking? I don't... Alright, we got past another combat. It was something like 57 deaths, I think, of save scumming. Was this also a physical release? This was a physical book, yeah. So back then you had to turn pages to get to the books. I don't know. People must have cheated. It's just barely possible. And I mean, on top of that, not only have you got all these unavoidable combats, but there's some points in the book where you roll a die, and if it's 0 to 1, you just die. Flat out die or whatever, because you've got hit in the head by an arrow or something. So it's, if you analyze it, there is basically a 0 chance of getting through the book. When you couple together all the RNG factors, it's really... you gotta save scum it. That's this book in particular. The first 5 books were fine. They were the right difficulty. It started getting a bit rougher the last few books, and then this book specifically is just not actually doable. So what are we on? 57 deaths added to that. And we should make Quantum P1 play this. Alright. That's probably not the last fight, though. Let's make a save here. Wait, what health am I on? Oh, I'm still on 21 health. That's actually alright. With a haunting scream, the evil shadows fade and dissolve in the swirling clouds. A loud wind whistles in your ears, carrying the mournful sound of a tolling bell. At the center of the cloud, a ray of golden light pulses like a heartbeat in time to the chime of the bell. It draws you towards it, and you cannot resist its call. Slowly the clouds separate, and a tall tower of glistening white stone looms before you. A globe of golden light hangs suspended in midair above its conical roof, pulsating with heat and radiating power like a tiny newborn sun. Its comforting warmth draws you towards an open portal at the side of the tower. Beyond it, you see a dark tunnel that descends towards a speck of misty yellow light. You find it impossible to resist the strange compulsion drawing you towards the light. Effortlessly, you glide along the tunnel and emerge at the center of a huge, transparent sphere suspended in a luminous yellow sea of oily liquid. Behind its seamless walls swim fish-like creatures, strange things with phosphorescent bodies and opalescent jaws. You stare in fascination as they swim around you, seemingly oblivious of your presence. From the curved floor of this spherical chamber, a billowing mist arises. It blurs your vision and numbs your senses. As if in a dream, you feel yourself lifted by the buoyant cloud and transported across a vast, shadowy terrain where spirits' shapes, like wisps of white silk, swirl around you in continuous motion. At first, you cannot discern the nature of these gossamer forms, but slowly they draw into focus until, at last, you are able to distinguish their features. A cold terror grips your mind when you realize exactly what it is you're looking at. We haven't really had any choice yet. The ghostly spirit shapes possess the faces of every enemy you have ever slain. They twist and contort beneath your gaze, their empty eyes burning with cold blue flames as they return your stare. You press your fists to your eyes and scream in an effort to block out this haunting nightmare, but to no avail. It saps your strength and numbs you to the bone. The ghosts dissolve into the mists, and a strange serenity soothes your tortured mind. New forms are taking shape now. They fill the scope of your vision with memories of events that occurred long ago. You see the smiling faces of your mother and father, the village of Dage, where you lived before you entered the Kai Monastery. Your sister Kari calling you in for supper at the close of a warm summer's day, and the sad memory of your brother Jen, who gave his life to save yours when on your 6th birthday you slipped and fell into the River Tor. This is like the first time we even mentioned her family. With amazement you watch as the patchwork parade of recollections continues to unfold, and slowly a realization of their meaning crystallizes in your mind. These people and events have all played their part, be it great or small, in the shaping of your destiny. Suddenly the visions are obscured by a dazzling light which shines so brilliantly that you are forced to shield your eyes against the glare. Many moments pass before you can make out the shape of what looms above. It is the huge face of a mighty warrior, strong and wise, whose golden eyes stare down at you with supernatural majesty. A kindly smile softens his heroic features, and a voice deep and wondrous rumbles from his throat. In this age of darkness, you have been chosen to fulfill the quest of the Magna Kai. Be true to the quest, for the greatness born within you can save your people and right the imbalance which threatens to destroy your world. Doubt not your purpose nor your strength, for inside you there burns a flame that can light the hopes of future men for all time. If everyone wants me to save their world, then why didn't they give me a better sword and maybe a potion or two? The divine radiance of his being and the gravity of his words fills you with wonderment, for your senses tell you that you are now in the presence of your creator, the immortal god Kai. Oh, it's Kai. Hi, Kai. The vision of your maker shatters with breathtaking suddenness, and without any warning you fall forwards and plummet into thick swirling cloud. The scary sensation of this rapid descent leaves you gasping, but the initial shock is soon replaced by the calm certainty that your fall is being controlled by unseen hands. Then, as if awaking from a dream, you become aware that the cloud has faded and the welcome feel of firm ground has returned beneath your feet. You stand at the foot of a massive sandstone cliff, its sheer wall pitted and scarred by fierce winds that whip across the surrounding rocky landscape. Perched at the top of the cliff is a walled city, whose grim outline and dragon gate you recognize immediately. It is Haggadar. Oh good, so we've actually reached Haggadar on this map. That little dot there. the forgotten city of the Sandai. You stare up at the stronghold, pondering the near impossible climb to its gate, and try to suppress your mounting fears. Nearby you see a stinking stream of foul water. You follow it to its source and discover that it pours from a grill set into the cliff wall. It must be a sewage channel that services the city above. Oh, we're going to... Is this going to be the sewer level? Let's make a save here, because the last 10 pages were just exposition. With no choices. This is the only book I've actually made any save scumming. Every other book, I've started the book from scratch every time I died, because it was reasonable enough. So we either try to climb that cliff. Yeah. We have a rope, but I don't think a rope's enough. This is gonna end up like Garlips in that race the other day. Let's go into the sewer then. The rusty bars offer little resistance to a couple of well-placed kicks, and you are able to gain entry to the circular chute with ease. A narrow walkway runs beside the gurgling channel. This is not the first sewer level we've had, actually. Ascending by steps and ramps as the climb becomes increasingly steep. The dark stone walls beaded with moisture and smeared with patches of luminous fungi which keep the sewer bathed in an eerie green half-light. At length you reach a landing where a smaller channel joins the main flow. As you pass it and set foot on the stairs beyond, you hear a sound like the rustling of leather on stone, and sense that something hungry is advancing along the tunnel towards you. All these skills that I don't have. A clacking of fangs and a cold ophidian smell serve to warn you that a gigantic serpent is advancing towards the landing, attracted by the promising warmth and scent of your body. It is moving very quickly, and you realize at once that your only hope of evading it is to delay its advance. If you possess a minimum of 4 meals... I've got 0 meals. I don't carry meals anyway, they're not that important. Well, we don't have bait. From out of the gloom emerges a colossal form. The monstrous, pear-shaped head of a giant sewer snake. It rears up from the narrow tunnel and fixes you with its burning yellow eyes, its forked tongue flickering to within inches of your chest. Its slit pupils dilate, and you barely have time to draw a weapon before it strikes. Oh, it's only -2. That's actually alright. That was close. What are we on? 6 health. Okay. The stairs lead to a passageway, which gives access to a street via hinged stone portals in the ceiling. You climb through one of the portals to merge on a gloomy street corner. Few walk the shadowy avenues of Haggadar. The atmosphere is so thick with the smell of salt and sulfur that those whom you do pass are unrecognizable behind the damp pads they press to their faces to ward off the cloying stench. The dimly lit street ends at a central square. This is the one and only time you ever hear a snake's head being described as pear-shaped. I would say Arbok in Pokemon's head is kind of pear-shaped as well. Well, actually, yeah, it did look like one of those snakes that has the what is it called? The thing which makes it look like it's bigger than it really is. Where was I? Roped to a stone monolith at the center of the square is a huge blackbird, the Scarlet Warrior's winged steed. Behind it, rising in flat-topped tiers, is the Temple of the Sandai. 2 armor-clad creatures stand guard at the entrance, their rusty helmets crudely adapted to hold their face pads in position. You sense that the Lore Stone is here, within the temple, and you scan every inch of it in the hope of finding an unguarded entrance. There are no other doors, but a circular chimney-like vent protrudes from the middle of the highest tier. Well, we got a rope. Let's try climbing onto the temple. In the gloom, you are able to reach the top of the temple unseen. The vent is wide enough for you to pass through easily, but the foul odor pouring out of the funnel makes you nauseous and dizzy. A dim light glows somewhere in the depths of the shaft, and the sound of grinding machinery is carried upward on the bad air. Gingerly, you lower yourself down the soot-caked shaft to a place where another vent crosses it horizontally. 10 yards from this point, you find a hatch. The hatch opens to reveal an empty chamber below, with several corridors radiating from it like the spokes of a wheel. Quickly, you enter and follow a corridor that sweeps away in a smooth, curving arc. A line of doors, each one painted with the symbol of a writhing serpent, marches past on either side. The doors are invariably closed, and their heavy iron bolts are locked in position. You ignore them and hurry on towards the distant staircase, for it is here that you sense that the power of the last Lore Stone is at its strongest. The staircase opens onto a balcony which overlooks a large circular hall. Here the floor is made of a polished blue-black marble that gleams like the still waters of a lake. At one end stands a massive table cluttered with artifacts, scrolls, and many strange potions and powders that hint at the practice of alchemy. At the opposite end of the hall is a towering arch, its surface sculptured with all manner of creatures, many of which stir a deep loathing within you. Beneath the arch is a complete darkness. No light at all penetrates or reflects in this inky abyss. But this is the Shadow Gate of Sandai, the doorway back to your homeworld. Wow. We can go back home. Oh. Hello. A sudden sound makes you spin on your heel, and instinctively you crouch down ready for combat. A small group of people, dressed in costumes that look vaguely familiar, are marching along the corridor towards the balcony. To avoid them, you hurry down a narrow stair that leads to the hall below, and take cover behind the overladen table. From your hiding place, you observe the group make their entrance. There are 6 of them. 4 men, 1 woman, and 1 other who walks with a stoop at the center of the group, and whom you cannot see clearly. You concentrate on their clothing, for there is something about its cut and style that is definitely familiar, yet you cannot pinpoint what it is. Then suddenly you recognize it, and the shock makes you draw breath. They are wearing Som-lending costumes, i.e. they're from our world. The 5 visible faces are now all too familiar to you. Luvius Court, the Poisoner of Taiso, Falco, Highwayman and Cutthroat, Aita Nemata, the Witch of the Curlundin Isles, Porgron, Murderer, just a generic murderer, and Gardor Vez, Chief Druid of Malice Mound, Necromancer and Cannibal. I'm supposed to know all these people? These are 5 of Summerland's most notorious criminals, all of whom were sentenced to be thrown into the Shadow Gate of Toran for their crimes. 5 pairs of startled eyes glare at the table, alerted by your gasp, and the slick sound of blades leaving oiled scabbards soon follows. The 4 men and the woman, Aita, raise their swords and step forward to challenge you. As they move apart, you see the 6th member of their group clearly, and an icy chill runs down your spine. Slowly you shake your head in disbelief as your stare is returned by the cold, malicious eyes of Vonotar the Traitor. Oh, was he like from Book 1? You can actually meet him in Book 1, but even if you don't meet him, I guess he gets caught anyway, so you know of him. He's the one who started all this. He led the, he was the one that led the Dark Lord's army to the monastery to kill all my fellow monks, to leave me to be the lone wolf. Yeah, he started this whole mess. Long have I waited for the chance to enact my revenge on you, lone wolf. he hisses, his loathsome voice filling the hall with sibilant echoes. And now my time has come. Kill him, he screams maniacally. And the 5 spring forward, eager to obey his command. -15! That's not even on the chart. That's off the chart. What? -11 or less. Oh my god. How much health have they got? 46! This is worse than any of the previous fights. You must fight all 5 enemies to the death. Alright, we're definitely safe scumming this turn by turn. And even doing that, it's just really stupid. Like, there's no... How could you ever be in a position where you have even a remote chance at this fight? Let's look at it this way. I've got the best possible starting. It's like I play Baldur's Gate and I basically use the mod that gives you max rolls for your starting stats. I've got Weapon Mastery, which gives a +3. I've got Circle of Fire, which gives you +1. So that's basically as good as you can get. Interestingly, they're not immune to Mind Blast, so you could get an extra +2 if I had Mind Blast. So that could be a like -13, which doesn't make a difference to the stats table. Maybe it's -15 total, but 1v1s? No. When it's a group, unless it specifies otherwise, and there's programs, it would actually have them separately. You just treat them as a group. Yeah. In fact, you very often fight a whole group with one combat skill. We've got 6 health right now. We have to just cheat. What the... And they don't even give you any, like, do you possess this obscure weapon that you might have found in some tomb somewhere? Do you have this potion or this particular poison that you found somewhere? No, it's just you just fight it. So you've got no workarounds. Like, in the original 5 books, you had options. Like, you could avoid combat because you might have rolled bad combat to begin with. And they kind of pointed out to you, even if you roll bad combat stats, all is not lost. But no, I mean, here, if you roll bad combat stats, all is lost. You have to... These books, I don't know, they went a bit off the rails. I hope that he reins it in, and after this Magna Kai sub-series, it somehow becomes a bit more reasonable. Alright. Let's take a quick look at the flowchart. Like, I want to know if we actually have to fight this fight, or there's actually a way around. Like, I don't want to spend my time testing it. Oh, no, I think we're here at towards the end of the game. 84. There's no branches, so this is like the full flowchart of the whole book. You literally have to fight it. And this is a spoiler, but whatever. We lose 5 HP, and then we have to fight another stupidly tough fight afterwards. Wonderful. It's... what? So, like, even if you had... And even if you kept every item you can find in every book that could give you plus combat. So, like, there was a helmet, there was a magic shield, stuff like that. Maybe you could push this up to a -9 or -8, and even then it's against you. And, like, what's weird is there was a huge opportunity for them to give you all sorts of interesting weapons and interesting armors and stuff that have magical effects or +2 combat skill or something. But for the most part, no. They just give you regular swords. You find regular weapons. Sometimes you'll find a special weapon. It's named. But on its own, it doesn't do anything. It only does something if it says, do you have this weapon? And then it'll take you to a specific page. But you don't generally get any special weapons which are just a flat +2 or something. I don't, like... That seems to be a missed trick. Like, the only real occasion where that happened was the Summer Sword, which you get in Book 2. And if you somehow manage to keep that all the way to this book, book 11, then you do get like a +4 skill or something. And that's great and everything, but when you die, if you're following the rules, you're supposed to lose everything and restart that book like as a pleb with nothing. Alright. Alright. Let's make a save here. Because we're on 6 HP. We don't have any potions. Because I used all my potions for the last battle. I've got these spores. We're not going to have a chance to use them. We've got a conch shell. Well, we're not in Lord of the Flies, so that's not of no use to us. I've got a bow and arrow, but they're not asking me to use it. Alright, whatever. Let's make a save. I've got a million JSON files on my computer now. All... I can see that they're growing in the numbers of kilobytes in these JSON files. Alright, take a hit. We rolled a K. K means it doesn't matter how much health you have, you just die. Like, when you're that bad in combat, the chart just has a K. So if you roll a 0... No, if you roll a 1 or a 2, you just get K'd. Your mission end here. Okay, that's 1 death. Two deaths. I'm just trying to roll for a hit where I don't take any damage. 3 deaths. Mm-hmm. 4 deaths. Even turn by turn. 5 deaths. 6 deaths. 7 deaths. 8 deaths. See. Hang on, let me just add those deaths. That was, what, 7? So, I've always been assuming that it's a uniform roll from 0 to 9. I've never actually verified that. Let me just have a look at the mechanics here. So if we turn off computer generated, and then we look at the RNG chart. Well, if we're doing this, we could actually just choose our rolls. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to endure this stupidity. Alright, so if I change to manual dice rolls. Alright, now we click play turn. So this is how they expected you to do it for the book. You were supposed to hold a pencil over the book, close your eyes, and go... And wherever the pencil would land, that's the number you rolled. Now, looking at that, is it actually uniform? How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 zeros. How many, like, I don't know, 4s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's not actually uniform. It is actually a little bit like Gaussian or something. It's just a little bit weighted towards the center. That never occurred to me. That actually changes a lot of decisions that potentially would have changed a lot of decisions I made in the past, where I was sort of... There were like games where you would go to a casino and play roulette and stuff, and I was always just assuming the dice was perfectly uniform. It's actually weighted towards the middle. Offline, I'll have to actually calculate the exact odds so we know going forward. They expected you to fuck the book. Yeah, like I had one of these books when I was a kid, but I didn't. I don't think I did the pencil method because that was just kind of. It was just really stupid. Sometimes you would miss the book. I probably just rolled a dice or something. Interesting. So it's actually low chance of getting crits. And we're hoping for crits here. Alright, well, I'm still going to use computer generated, but... alright. Dead. 1 death. 2 deaths. 3 deaths. See, they're getting the crit on us, and that should be the same chance as us getting the crit on them. I would think. I.e., does 0 have the same weight as 9? I didn't check, but I think probably. I had one, but it was the small books. I can't remember what it required. 4 deaths. 5 deaths. 6 deaths. I just want to get a 7 on him. It can happen. A 7! Alright, save scum. Another JSON. How was that JSON 200 bytes more than the last one? Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because we've got that. We've changed our HP. I don't know. We've changed his HP and ours. Well, no, ours didn't. 7. Okay, dead. 8 deaths, I think. Nine deaths. I've kickstarted a couple of game books that people are writing, like, now and are publishing around this year or next year. So if I get hold of those, I might try those. We'll see how they compare with this. Hopefully they're a bit fairer. Like I bought like the PDF copy of them. Nine deaths. 10 deaths. I just want to get to the end of this Magna Chi series because I have Advent of Code like this month, and that's going to run until the 12th. And I don't want to have to be juggling both of these browser streams because I'm using the same scene for both in OBS. I couldn't be bothered to make a new one. It was 14, around 14 deaths. 15 deaths. 16 deaths. 17 deaths. Just the end of the Magna Chi sub-series, not the end of the whole series, because the whole series is 29 books, and we're on book 11. But the sub-series finishes with book 12, I think. Probably 20 deaths. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30 deaths. Let's just bank these for a moment. I need a breather. You can actually edit the JSON file as well. If you want to give yourself certain stats or certain skills or start it in a certain way. We never even got asked to use these things. I get so many different things that I never find the page where you're supposed to use them. If they even... Sometimes I bet they're just troll items and there's actually no page. I mean, they might not necessarily be in the same book. There could be later books saying, do you have the dagger of Vishnu or whatever? And that might have been from like 3 books ago. As if you somehow were able to survive the last 3 books. If you're following the rules, you're only supposed to keep items if you actually survived. You can also store stuff at your monastery in between books, but technically if you die, all that stuff disappears as well, so... Alright, let's crack on. One. Okay. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Also, this isn't the, when we're fighting humans, we play this music. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. Did we actually have any healing potions? No, we used them all before. 13. 14. 15. Give me another crit. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. Should have banked that one. 23. 24. 25. 'What are they on? They're on 25 health. So on 25 deaths. 26. 27. We'll save that. $28. 29. 30. 31. 32. Come on, they're on 12 health. 33. What are we on? 3 health. Of course. 30. 30. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 52. 53. 54. 6. 47. 58. 49. Come on, we've only got 12. 12 health. 50. 51. 52. 53. 'Alright, come on, just one more hit. 54. 55. 6. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. It has to be another crit. We can't do 5 damage to them without dying. 63. 64. They died, but we died as well. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. You heard what I was saying about Inscription on Archipelago, but I also just realized if Act 1 complete is your goal, then you're 1 item from Go mode from the get-go. So is the only blocker the film roll? Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I just initially selected that because I thought it'd be shorter, but if it's just the film roll, yeah. I can do all 3 acts. I've actually done an Archipelago before with Inscription. It wasn't too bad, although it was a bit bottlenecky in the middle of Act 2. But it's much better to have all 3 acts available from the beginning. Not do them in order, because that becomes very bottlenecky. What was I on? 72 or something? 72. 73. 74. This game could work as an Archipelago. It is open source as well. 75. Six. 77. 78. 79. 80. Come on. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. We did it. Right. It's not peaked down yet. As the last of your enemies falls, dead at your feet, the traitor vents... Wait, what was it? 87 something? Let me add those. So that's... Add 7... The traitor vents a shrill cry of terror and scurries like a bloated spider towards the shadow gate. In his hand he clutches a banded leaden box, and as he runs, he works feverishly at the lock. Suddenly the lid springs back and your senses burn as the power of the last lawstone is uncovered. Now instinct alone... Oh no. Oh no. Let's just read this. Instinct alone guides your actions. You sprint towards him, determined to stop him from entering the shadow gate. He squeals with fear and turns to face you, his hand raised, a ring of blue fire pulsating on his finger. He screams a curse and a jet of cold fire lances your chest and slams you to the floor. As you stagger to your feet, the traitor runs forward to finish you with another blast. You dive aside and the blast tears open the floor, but before he can launch another, you leap forward and attack. Combat skill 30, so the last one was 38, so it's not nearly as bad. In fact, it's quite doable, but we're dead already. Oh no, how do I fix this? Wait, so what was the... Oh, at least I made it... So we have to have 6 health. Hang on, let me load the save before the last one. What are we on? 3. Oh, fuck. Well, we do have a save we can recover from. We're on 6 health here. So if we lose 5 health, we'll be on 1 health, and then we can just then save scum it again. Oh god. What time is it? Alright, well this is let's just finish this off. As tempted as I am to just cheat and use the manual dice roll. So we got to retain our 6 health. What are they on? They're on 25. Let me make a save here. Alright. Go again. 1. 2. No, we can't accept any loss of health at all. Three, 4, 5 something. 6. Seven. Do I give in and just use the manual dice? We've made it this far. 8. Well, then we have to fight him. But he's not tough, actually. His skill is not that bad. 8. 9. 10. 11. This is the part that seems impossible. Well, yeah. Well, I said that at every monster we came across. Every monster just got more and more ridiculous. And now this one's... Yeah, this is the worst we've seen yet. 8. 9. 10. I don't know what he was thinking. See, he even publishes, like, books with errata and, like, additions or things to change in the books. And all of those errata and modifications and stuff are actually programmed into this. He never decided to actually make any fixes to this to make it a little bit easier, apparently. Or if he did, it might have just been... I think he might have, actually, because if I look at this flowchart, they don't always match up. Some of the combat skills of the bosses are actually a bit easier than they are in the flowchart, so it's actually originally... The original publication, I think, was even worse. Did the stream go off? Am I back? Oh, okay. Keep on rolling dice. 9. 10. This is gonna make for a terrible YouTube video. 11. I haven't really checked, but I might be the only person who's ever made like a full playthrough, YouTube playthrough of the entire series. I found some playthroughs, but they weren't very... I don't think they really finished the whole series. So I could be the first, but... $13 or something. 14, yes, nice. Come on. Yes, 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 come on. One more. We win, but we can't accept any, we'll die anyway. So that's like 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 3. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. Come on, just one more. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. There we go. So we are... It says -7. That's not too bad. Alright, what are we on? We're on 1 HP. So we can't take any hits. So I think we'll get a little bit more leeway here because... if we look at the chart, we're on -7. So we're here. So if we... Oh. No. Again, we have to crit every time. But we only have to do it like 3 times. But we do actually have to crit every single time. Wonderful. 3 times will do it. Alright. Oh, what was I adding? 33? Let's just have 33. 60. Alright. Ready for the final battle. He is human, so... With power ring. Let me have a look at the flowchart. Was there a way he could have not had the power ring? No, apparently not. Okay, anyway. One. Two. 3. Come on, just 3 quit. 3 more crits. 4. 5. 1. Hang on, so 5 deaths. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. This battle would have been fine if we had health. This -7 is not too bad. It's actually kind of evens in terms of who wins if you have the same health. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. Alright, if we're on how much? 1 health. If there's like lose 1 HP or something on the next page. Let me just add the deaths first. What was that? 23 or something? 23. Save scumming a gamebook, what fun. I don't know how much of that you saw, Wugger, but these battles were absolutely just utterly stupid. Like, I tried save scumming at the beginning of the battles, even that didn't work. I had to save scum each individual strike of the battle. And even then I have to do like 20 reloads before I get a hit that won't put me in an unwinnable position. It's so stupid, and even if you had like every item from past books that adds to your combat skill or something, you'd still be at a huge loss. But I think we finally did it. We had something like 200 deaths on this book alone. Maybe a bit unbalanced, yeah. Hence the footnote at the start. And the funny thing is, the author, later on, he published like magazines which had errata, which you could use to fix past books. He never decided to fix this book. There might have been a few changes here and there. I think some of the things look different. But he didn't decide to fix the bosses, even after people were playing them. Yeah, that second last boss fight, I beat it, only to find out the very next page was a mandatory minus 5 HP loss, just for the fun of it. Like this page one right here. Lose 5 endurance points because you fall on the floor. Or because you get hit by cold fire. And that means I had to go back to a much earlier save to redo that battle and make sure I had 6 health. Alright, I'm about to click this page now. If we lose 1 HP. Onotar lies dead on the black marble floor, his torn body oozing a blood that is thin and vile, like poisonous venom. You roll his corpse aside and take up the Lore Stone in your trembling hands. Instantly, an overwhelming wave of power is transfused into your being, and you feel lifted in mind and body to a level of consciousness that transcends your mortal frame. You surrender to its power, and under its guidance you are drawn inexorably towards the arch of the Shadow Gate. Willingly, you step into the darkness and begin your triumphant return to the world where you were born. Your quest has succeeded, for the essence of the remaining 2 Lore Stones is now one with your body and spirit. But the final struggle has yet to be won, for the power of your mortal enemies, the Dark Lords of Helgadad, has waxed and grown strong during your time in the Dazian. If you possess the courage of a true Kai Master, the ultimate battle awaits you in the final episode of the Magna Kai quest entitled The Masters of Darkness. In bookstores now. I can only hope that this next book isn't another troll book. From what I read, the one that we're on right now was said to be the worst of the entire lot. At least according to some players. So we are returning to our home plane, Magnamund. This is Helgadad. We've never been here. This is where the big Dark Lord boss lives. That's probably where we're going next book. And if you look at this gigantic map, we've actually, in these last 11 books, we've only really covered, like, let's say this area plus maybe this, yeah, this area, so this side, and also a bit of this continent here. So yeah, sort of like this big blob here. Oh, and a bit of that ice shelf there. Including the main river here, going up to that bit there. Yeah, okay. So it's like basically this top right-hand corner. But look how many individual named places there are, most of which I think actually do come up in the books, so there's still a whole world out there to explore. And this map we had was of the plane because we were on a different plane altogether. Hopefully we'll never return there. Alright. Okay, this is the flowchart. Yeah, you can see from this flowchart that these boss battles, the black boxes, they're just completely unavoidable. You don't have any workarounds using your skills. You have to have super high skill, which goes against like the spirit of the first few pages, of the first books, which explained, you know, there are ways around battle. It's not always about fighting. Oh, it is always about fighting. Nothing's more important than being able to kill. Alright. So... Masters of Darkness. We can load up the book and make a save. We lost our map. So we get to keep 19 gold coins, which we had no use for in that universe, because they don't use gold coins in that universe. Keep our skills. We'll get to take one more skill. Like animal control or something, I don't know. Or if we really want to max out our combat skill, because it seems to be important, we'll probably go with Mind Blast. We keep a bunch of items. Rope and lantern are usually useful. Conch shell. We didn't have any Lord of the Flies moment come up, but it might still happen. Got Ketu spores. Balon's Bile fungi. Plenty of arrows. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad inventory. Alright, make a save here. See, if you look here, the combat, the RNG thing I was talking about, where you drop your pencil down. So in LW Club Newsletter Edition 29, they issued a new table, which is expanded and had more numbers in it. Like a bigger RNG table. So I guess it's actually programmed to use the exact number of squares in that table. So I should really count them up, do a tally, so I know the exact odds. Because it really does matter, actually, for making decisions. Just make like a bar chart of how it looks. So yeah, as I was saying, there's not many people who have like a YouTube series or something of them playing through the entire series. So I could probably with confidence say nobody's ever done a legit completion of this series on video. Especially with the existence of this book. If you, like, there are probably ways to actually get through it, because if you were to keep all the past really good items, as well as some potions, which you can drink during battle, and it gives you +2 combat for that battle. So you can save them up. So in theory, it could be done. Like, legit, surviving all the way through the series. If you had analyzed the flowcharts inside out, you'd worked out the optimal route. You could do it. So somebody could be the first. I'm not gonna. It's gonna take forever. I'd love to understand the math of the tables and why D6 isn't just better. Because I guess he wanted it to be weighted more in the center, and you can't easily do that with without using multiple dice. Because he wanted crits to be quite rare. Or at least rarer than like a 4 or a 5. And with a D6, it would be too common for a crit to come up. And yeah, the only other way, which probably still would have been better, is to have you roll multiple dice, but then it's a lot of adding up, and yeah, I don't see that. That would also wouldn't appeal to people. But then again, well, if it's between that and doing the stupid pencil thing, I would still pick the dice, but yeah. Alright. Well, there's still one book to go before I can temporarily put a close on this playthrough until I come back to this in the future. But we still got to do this next book, so I'll try and get that one done. I think it's mainly accessibility. Well, yeah. I mean, DICE would use... If someone was committed enough to buy one of these books, I imagine they wouldn't have too much difficulty getting hold of a single die. I don't know. You could do a flowchart based on coin flips. It'll probably have the best accessibility. I think it would just take too long to do battles if you did that. Because you don't have to do it for every turn. If I were to do the book, I would have done it roll X number of dice and use the sum total. That seems to me the most reliable way. It just means there's a lot of adding up. Like, if I were publishing a book at a time when people didn't really use computers, but... Alright. Well, I've paid for a couple of Kickstarters where some authors are making some game books now, as we speak. So we'll see what they do, and I'll probably stream them because they're like PDF versions. So we'll see what they do and how they've decided to modernize their systems. That'll be interesting. Let me. Trying to remember what the name was. There was something called Legion of the Necromancer or something. Well, that was one of them, and then another one was Castle of something or other. Probably provide a tearaway page to make a die. Ooh. What, like fold up a die? Does that really work? Suppose you could do that. Oh, like out of cardboard, I suppose you mean? I don't know. This was around the 1980s to 1990s, wasn't it? I don't know what games have been published around then. I assume there were. I think they were popular enough. There were enough board games that it wouldn't be too hard to get hold of dice. Keep the outside elements to the minimum. Yeah. And when was this book published? So we've got... So the first book was published in 1984. Let's have a look at this up. Lone Wolf Masters of Darkness publication dates. How many years had passed? 1988. So this was 4 years after the first book. And the final book? Was that actually quite recent? Let's have a look. Storms of Chai. ...2016. It was actually pretty recent. Relatively. He died that year? Damn. He died the same year he wrote the final book of the series. And I believe his next of kin have basically given permission for this to be free use, like under the Project Aeon license. Well, that's kind of poetic, actually. He managed to finish the series. Alright. I gotta go eat now. One day we'll travel this whole world, even the Zor Dorsal, or Cape Caron. Alright, see you next time, Lone Wolf.